IVC, Dale 433 here. I just thought I'd jump on and do a video. I saw Rob Walker last night did a video on car boots sale finds that he's had recently, and I did include some car boot sale finds in my most recent finds video. This Sunday I had a little bit of success at the car boot sale, a small amount of success at a market, a retro market, and then a bit more success with a connection that I made at the car boot sale. So I just thought I'd tell my tale of Sunday the 2nd of May. So started with this new boot sale that I'm going to. It's the third week I've been. I should say, in the last video I shared a few finds, nothing spectacular from the second week. The first week I went, I just got a couple of 7-inch singles, and again, nothing spectacular. This week when I went there, so of what was there at the time, I managed to score a few CDs, 50p each. There was a guy selling some CDs, and it was some interesting stuff, not your normal boot sale rubbish. So, and I just, because I've only got 3 of them are in the office now, I think I've got 8 for 50p each. So there was Bob Marley's Legend, the deluxe 2-disc edition, Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs and Englishmen, the deluxe 2-disc edition, and Bob Dylan's bootleg series volumes 1 to 3, the 3 CD edition with booklet. Box is a bit beat, but the rest of it's lovely. So that's sort of 3 of the 8 things I've got. I've got a few other individual CDs, say some Gap Fillers and stuff, but all quite good stuff. So that was good. On the vinyl front, less spectacular. I got a couple of records at 50p each, reggae related. They're a bit beat, they've parted a bit hard. I don't know if they're any good, to be honest. Well, one I've listened to, one I haven't listened to yet. So the first one is this Strictly for Lovers. It's an Island release as part of an Island series that was done in the mid-80s, where they did a number of Strictly for, so they did Strictly for Lovers, Strictly for Rockers, Strictly for DJs. So again, John 6-inch pianist, I don't know if any of that is any good or not. Yeah, so it's okay, it's a bit marked, and being an 80s press, it's a little bit crackly. So that was okay. Next up, so brace yourselves for a little bit of a cover shock here. So the next up was an individual reggae pop album. So it's Barry Biggs, Mr. Biggs. There's Barry. Look at that. How could you resist? So yeah, bit of a shocking cover there, in my opinion. Mid-70s. So Barry Biggs is, I guess, most well known for the song Sideshow, which was a hit in the UK. I think a top 3 hit in the UK. It's on this album and kind of a lot of other stuff. It's very, very, if you like, gentle pop reggae. I have played it actually. I played it in the background while I was cleaning stuff and doing stuff, and yeah, it's quite a nice listen. But it's not going to. It's going to set you alight. But nice. So that was the car boot done. So we are now at about 8:30. So came home, had some breakfast. Then I need to take my daughter to work into town. And the first Sunday of each month they do a retro market. So this was the first Sunday since lockdown that started. I'd forgotten about it actually, so as I happened to be in town, there's one market store where the guy, he sells all sorts of things, but he does sell records. From his collection, he's gradually weeding it out, and he's a little bit older than me, so it kind of it goes through the sort of post-punk new wave phase, a lot of his stuff. So it's always worth having a dig. And he's a bit random on his pricing. So the stuff that's individually priced, and then if it's not priced, it's £7. So it's £7 and above, basically. And some of the things I see priced, I think I'm not going to pay that. That's more than it's worth. But other things you find, you just think, that's a bargain, I'm having that. And I nearly kind of jaw dropped when I came across one record in the bin. So and it was it ended up, I bought one other thing with him, so this ended up costing me a £5, and it's the Smiths Best Volume 2. So this is very rare on vinyl, this Smiths compilation. So it cost me a £5, which is a really good price, and it goes with I'll do it that way around, Best One, that I got hold of a couple of years ago, I think, in a collection that I got my money back on through selling other stuff. So this has effectively cost me nothing. So I've got, where does it go again? It goes together a bit like that. There you go. So to form one picture, and I think it's formed one picture on the CD version. Yeah. So now I've got Best 1 and 2. So I'm really happy to have that. So back to the boot sale saga. That's too, boot sale adventure. So while I was at the boot sale, and what I tend to do when I'm walking around a car boot sale, obviously if you can see records, you kind of go for the records. But often it's worth, and what I tend to do is, if the seller looks like they could be a vinyl potential person, which, I don't want to be ageist, but if they look like they could have vinyl, I will, normally say, excuse me, have you got any records? Because often they'll go, oh yeah, we've got loads of records, I forgot to bring them. I didn't even think to bring records. Well, I didn't think anyone would want it. I'll bring them next time, mate. And I'll say, yeah, okay, I'll come and see you. And I'll try and make a mental note of the car to kind of be there and just say, oh hi, did you bring the records? Can I have a look first? Type thing. So I try and do that. And there was a woman there, and so I said, have you got any records? And she said, oh, I have, but they're too good to bring to a car boot sale. I thought, well, okay. So she said, if you want to come round, give me a call at 1 o'clock. You can come round and have a look. So I kind of took a number, but I thought, well, I need to know a little bit more, because this car boot sale is, and her house is about hours round trip, and I didn't want to do another hours round trip that day if I was just going to turn up and look at Perry Como and and the like. So so I said, do you know what you've got in this, these records? She said, well, I can't really remember. I did have a quick look in the box, and I know the top record was Iron Maiden. So I thought, okay, that sounds promising. So I took a number, and I gave her a call. She gave me an address, and I went off. My wife said, tell me where you're going first, just in case I never ever see you again. So I gave her my address, gave her the address, went to the place, and a very nice New Zealand woman came to the door, brought the box. There was a chair there, so I could sit on the front porch and go through the records, and she was there with me, and we had a bit of a chat, so I found out a bit about her. I said she's from New Zealand. So the thing about these records is that they're nearly all New Zealand pressings, so they've come with her from New Zealand, which is fine, apart from obviously for the global type artists. I don't really know whether a New Zealand press is any good compared to a UK, a US, a Japanese or German press. My instinct is to say not, but I don't know. And so yeah, so I was taking a bit of a punt on that. Plus they'd all been stored for years in a shed this way. So when I actually got them, they were sagging, and I thought, I'm not sure if these are dished or not. So there might be good titles, but so because of all of that, we agreed a price of £3 a record, which I was happy with, and I'm very happy with. So what did I get? So on the Global Artist New Zealand press front, I got a few. So this was the Iron Maiden that she mentioned. So Piece of Time, Piece of Mind, Piece of Time, Piece of Mind. Yeah, so really nice condition. All the vinyl is really clean. Really, a lot of it looks unplayed. As I say, the only thing was, is it or isn't it warped? And a couple of them were a little bit warped. But luckily most of them were okay. But there's no way I could check that when I was there, because she didn't have a turntable or anything, so I couldn't really check it. So yep, so that's that. Next up is King Crimson Islands, and King Crimson Lizard. So yeah, pretty clean. There's a little bit of age spotting on these. As I said, these have been stored in a shed for years, unfortunately, so a little bit damp and weathering. Yardbirds, 5 live Yardbirds. This is an 80s reissue, but you know, again, pretty pristine vinyl, and Yardbirds featuring Jeff Beck, again an 80s, again all New Zealand presses, 80s reissue or issue. Then a couple of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood, Couldn't Stand the Weather. That's got the original, so from the EMI shop, 10.99 New Zealand dollars, I'm assuming. And then finally, one I didn't know on the New Zealand label, Jerry Harrison, I think, is he from Talking Heads or something? It's on Sire, but New Zealand Sire. So yeah, I don't know anything about this. I thought I'd add it in, looked interesting. And then there was one UK press. So that was Grateful Dead, Working Man's Dead, with the upside down cover. That was on the green Warner's label, so I think that's the first reissue of it. So that's it for the, if you like, New Zealand presses of widely available global artists. Next up there were, and this is the stuff I was kind of most excited about, was the opportunity to get some New Zealand artists on New Zealand labels, stuff that I'd never heard of. So first up is this album. So this is The Dudes and Right First Time. So when I saw this, I kind of thought, looks a bit like pub rock, 1979. It's a kind of, yeah, it's a sort of pop rock, new wave, pub rock type blend. Pretty good listen. I've listened to that. Pretty good. One I haven't listened to, got no idea, is this one. I guess something like that are the artists, and Let's Get Naked is the album because they're naked on the cover. It's on Rational Records of Dunedin. It says it's alternative sort of indie rock, so we'll see what that brings. And then the last four are all on the same label and kind of seem to have all come out of the same project. So they're all on a label called Braille Records, and they all tend to say, you know, the art, you know, whoever the artist is, gratefully acknowledges the assistance of the QE2 Arts Council. So these look like they're Arts Council funded. I don't know if the label is or the artists have been funded by an Arts Council project. So I've got 4 records, or not quite 4 records, I'll explain at the end. So first one up, which I have played, Rabbit Lock, The Backbone. I played this because when I kind of listed it, it looked like it goes for a bit, and it said it was free jazz, and I'm not a free jazz person, so I thought, well, if this, you know, this I don't like this, then I can probably sell it and maybe get a lot of my money back. So I played it and I liked it and I'm keeping it, so that's not going to happen. Well, certainly for now. Yeah, so this has got all sorts going on. It's avant-garde free jazz, I would say, but it's got a bit of enough of a groove going on that kept me sort of into it, because it's got and a lot of these 4 albums have got a lot of the musicians kind of intertwined on, kind of play on each of the albums, so that's why I think it kind of was a local project. I need to know more. I'm going back to see the woman over some other stuff, so maybe I will ask her. She knows the history of these. But yeah, so we've got, you know, drums, percussion, double bass, cello, electric guitar, baritone sax, soprano or sopranino sax, what we got, tuned percussion, whatever that is, voice, trombone, xylophone, banjo, cello, recorder, bongos, accordion. They've thrown the whole kitchen sink in there. So yeah, but pretty good. And then so that's, I've listened to that. I haven't listened to the last 3, so this has got a lot of the similar artists on it, so I'm assuming it might be in the same vein. So yeah, this is what the Family Mallet and Bosch's bottom. And then similarly, this is Future Jaw Clap and Primitive Art Group. I don't know if it's Primitive Art Group and Future Jaw Clap, I can't remember. And yeah, so this has got what, someone on battery, whatever that is, guitars, banjo, organ, double bass, banjo or bass banjo, bass drum, soprano, tenor, saxophones, bass clarinet, small percussion, whatever that is, sopranino again, alto, baritone, saxophones, clarinet. So a lot of brass there, a lot of squonk, I'm sure, and squawk going on in this. So we'll see what it comes. And then the last one that's nearly a record, unfortunately, is this. So it's on the same label. So it says David Watson reference on the cover. Unfortunately, the record, and this is the label. They're all like this. This is the Braille label. It's actually 4 volts and Something's Burning is the record. So I've got. So I did. I phoned the woman back yesterday and said, you know, any chance, because when I was going through these records, which clearly had just come out of the shed and had been there for years, she was going, oh, that's mine actually, that's from my, you know, that's mine. And so I was giving her records that she wanted to keep, and kind of going through the rest. So I didn't know whether she took the, if you like, the other half of this, the wrong cover with the wrong record, and we could kind of swap them back again. But she checked through and she hadn't, so this is what I've got. So yeah, so that's it. Let's see what we're on, 17 minutes nearly. So yeah, so pretty good Sunday. Some stuff, you know, out of the ordinary stuff. So yeah, always pays to inquire, because you never know where it might lead you. So yeah, cheers VC, thanks, bye.